What is going on, Shady people? ShadyPenguinn here, bringing you week number 8 to the GBA Global Battle Association. Before we get started, just a friendly reminder, please show your support for the New York Yankees by clicking the like button down below and leaving a friendly comment throughout this battle. Whatever your favorite part is, just boom, timestamp it and let me know. Because without your support, I cannot keep 2 videos a day coming your way. That is what I say. Now, today we are here versus the Atlanta's Hawluchas. I don't know if I said that right. Atlanta Hawluchas? Something like that. I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this. I'm going to show you the team that I'm bringing this week. Bringing pretty much the same Pokemon because I'm limited on what I can bring. We have Claudia, Mavis the Noivern, Get Lost the Mamoswine, Core Baby Vaporeon, Real Bulk, the Golbat, and Manectric. Now, I did study my opponent's team for a while, and I chose these Pokemon for specific reasons. I really need that flying type on Noivern. Actually, I'm not sure yet. Let's see what he's bringing first. Because I usually always study the wrong Pokemon. But let's find out if we did it right for once. Let's find out what he's going to bring. He's got the Keldeo, which I expected, which is why I wanted Noivern. Except, I see when Keldeo's a thing. Goodra, Mew, Mega Aggron, Chestnut, and Dragonite. So, I really wanted my Mamoswine, and it's going to pay off because Mamoswine hits the 2 dragons really, really hard. We're going to want that. Mew can be anything, so that's kind of scary. Aggron is normally supportive when it's Mega, but we really don't know what's going to happen. You could open up with that Aggron. Looking at his team, I outspeed just about everything with my Manectric except the Keldeo. So I'm going to go ahead and open up with the Manectric. Because I can Volt Switch out, nothing is immune, so I have free reign to Volt Switch out, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm already, you know what? First turn, let's decide. New York Yankees are currently 3 wins, 4 losses. The Atlanta Hawluchas are actually in our division, so winning this game would be really, 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 really good for us as far as playoffs are concerned. It would just help us out just a little more. It's really a close race in my division, so just because we're 3 and 4 doesn't mean we don't stand a chance. Hope you guys noticed the difference in the webcam. It's the first time I'm recording, and my webcam looks different now. It looks different. Like, I unplugged it and plugged it back in. First of all, last time I was talking to Nappy, and he gave me some extra settings, sharpener and stuff like that, that I should put my webcam to make it look better, so hopefully it looks better regardless. But now, it's got like this tone about it. It's really peaceful. I don't know if you guys like peaceful, but it's really peaceful. So we're gonna see if you guys enjoy it. You'll let me know in the comments. I don't even notice a difference in the webcam because I'm a freak, and I'm very particular about things, so I notice things. So hopefully maybe some of you guys are freaks too. I'm super freaky! And that didn't need to happen. New York Yankees! Can we score a win and go back to being 4 and 4 with just completely zero differential? That would be nice. I'd actually appreciate that. So Manectric is going to open up as my opponent does, in fact, open up with the Mew! We do not outspeed the Mew if he's max invested, which would be really, 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 really bad. So we're going to go ahead and just go for a Volt Switch, hoping that he's a supportive Mew, because he didn't lead with it, Stealth Rocks is a thing, etc., etc. If I can get a Volt Switch off before he gets anything off, that would be nice, because then I can go out into my Golbat, predicting the rocks, although his Psychic type move is really going to hurt me. I might actually have to go out to the Claudia right away. Looking at his team, the only thing that stops Claudia... Well, he has Chestnut and he has Keldeo, so those 2 things are a huge problem. I am going to intimidate this Mew. Intimidation. And I do go first, so we know that the Mew is most likely supportive. Let's see how much this Volt Switch does. It does a good chunk. That is a good chunk of damage. I can predict the rocks and go out into something, or I go out into my... I know my Noivern outspeeds. And honestly, U-turn will kind of do a lot of damage. You know what? Let's go out into Noivern predicting rocks now. And we can go for a U-turn, because it's super effective. I know I'm not a physical attacker, so he's actually going to roost up. Whoa! Okay, I did not expect the roost on turn 1. Nice and scout. Nice and scout by Fizz. Make sure you check out Fizz's channel. If he has one, leave in the description below. I'm not entirely sure if he has one. I think he does. Yeah, Fizzy Stardust. Of course he does. So, what is he going to do now? What is he going to do now? This thing kind of poops on his team a little bit. I want to keep this thing around. Yeah, this thing really hurts his team a lot. And I don't want to take an Ice Beam, so I'm just going to U-turn out. If he stays in, I'm predicting an Ice Beam. If he doesn't, then we have initiative, and that's always a fun time. So we're getting Volt Switch U-turn off right away. Let's U-turn out. Hopefully he doesn't just roost again. I mean, he can if he wants to. But I really do think an Ice Beam is coming. What's the best thing to take an Ice Beam? Probably Claudia. Actually, I think the best thing would be this gosh darn Vaporeon that we have. So, really quick, I have to see what Mew does. Mew goes for the knockoff. Wow, I did not expect that. Luckily, it was intimidated, so it didn't do too much. And I think Mew normally has what ability? I think they normally have Synchronize. Is that what a Mew carries? Mew carries synchronized? Yes, it only carries synchronized, you foolish fool of a took. So our leftovers are gone. That kind of stinks. We can go for a Toxic here, but that's kind of obvious. I guess I could just go for a Scald, but I don't think he'll send his Aggron in on a Vaporeon. So let's go for the Toxic. I don't think... Oh, he's going to go for the Will-O-Wisp for residual damage on part of my core. So definitely a good play on this Mew. This Mew has revealed Knockoff, Roost, Will-O-Wisp. So I would love to send in my Claudia here. And wow, that worked out perfect. I would love to send in my Claudia here. But I was actually going to let my Vaporeon get Toxic, and I didn't even care because I just talked about Synchronized, but he Will-O-Wisp me, so that's fun. I could have sent in my Claudia here. But... because I have a Lumberry, so I could set up a D-Dance, but because that Keldeo is here, and I'm not running Superpower, it's not a good time. So he's going to withdraw Mew. I kind of hope he goes into the Aggron, because I went for a Scald. He goes into the Goodra. Oh, he's going to soak this up. He's going to soak this up like no tomorrow. I'm hoping... It doesn't look like he brought Weather, so he doesn't have Hydration on this thing. So I hope I don't get the burn. I really would rather not the burn, because I want to go for a Toxic here. I actually think I should go for a Wish first. Just in case this thing wants to do anything silly. We're going to set a Wish up really quick. That way we can decide if we want to give it off to my core baby or if I want to give it to someone else. Let's find out. I mean, Vaporeon's not packing the Ice Beam, so I'm not super thrilled about keeping it around. I mean, he's got a Chestnut. He's got a bunch of things to take care of it. I'm just going to set a Wish up here. He might take advantage of that, and he's going to go for a Dragon Tail, actually, and force me out in case I wanted to switch. But I got a Wish set up, which is great, because if I go into Claudia here... Nope, I go into Real Bulk, which is not the best thing in the world, but honestly, getting a free Super Fang or a Toxic off. Toxic's a little obvious. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Super Fang. Because I feel like Toxic is a bit obvious. He is going to withdraw. I kind of hope he goes into the Aggron, because the Super Fang is going to be great. Goes out into the Mew. That was the other reason why I did not want to go for the Toxic, because the Mew still was around. He is going to be able to Roost if he wants to on this following turn. There's really nothing I can do. I'm not packing Golbat on this. I'm not packing Golbat on this U-turn. I'm not packing U-turn on this Golbat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to predict either the Roost or the Will-O-Wisp. Either way, let me go out into Core Baby, since I know Mew can't really touch it that well. Although the stall factor is going to be a thing. At least we do have the Toxic damage going. He's probably going to go for a Roost here. Yep, he is going to go for the Roost. That thing has no wings, man. There's no wings. I mean, it is floating, but it still gets hit by Earthquake. I learned that. I mean, I knew that, but you have to watch some other episodes if you want to know about that. I kind of want to go for another Toxic, because I think he's going to go back out into Goodra again. I'm going to go for a Wish here, though. Get the Wish up first. I don't want to go for Toxic on the off chance he goes out into the Aggron. This would be the play to go out into Aggron as well, because I would think, oh, only go for Toxic, he's going to go into Goodra, but then he's going to take advantage and go out into the Aggron. Nope, he does actually go into the Goodra, interestingly enough. So that's interesting. We're going to have a Wish right here. I kind of want my Vaporeon to actually get this Wish. So I don't want to go... I want to go for the Protect, because I'm getting really, really low. So I think I'm actually going to go ahead and go for the Protect here, just to make sure that Vaporeon gets the Wish. Because I think he's going to go for another Dragon Tail and force me out. Nope, he actually reveals the Thunderbolt. Interestingly enough. Now, I kind of want to take advantage. I can take a Thunderbolt. I'm going to go ahead and go for a Toxic, just in case he predicts my Mamoswine. Because Mamoswine, ooh, he goes for the Flamethrower, predicting the Mamoswine. So that's exactly what I wanted. I will get a Toxic off on this. Oh, no! It doesn't matter sometimes if you make the right play. It really doesn't matter. So now we're in with Mind Games. I think the best thing I could do is to go out into Real Bulk, although I really don't want to take any unnecessary damage. If I would have landed that Toxic... I don't think Vaporeon can take a Thunderbolt. I don't think he can, but it's almost worth it if he can. I'm going to go for the Toxic one more time. He is going to go for the Thunderbolt this time. I almost wanted to predict that and go into Mamoswine, but Alright, so Vaporeon does go down to the Goodra, unfortunately. Missing that Toxic. Oh, I could have protected. I could have had the stall going. Unfortunately, I do not. Now... can't really go out into Aggron against my Mamoswine. He really can't. I'm going to go ahead and go on into Mamoswine here, and I really have to make this play right. A Flamethrower is not going to kill. I'm not too worried about that. I'm more concerned with if my Mamoswine can 2-hit KO with Earthquake, which it can. Now, I don't think there's any chance of him going out into... I'm going to go for the EQ. I'm going to go for the EQ. Even if he wants to stay in, I'm going to go for the EQ, but I really think he's going to predict the Icicle Crash and switch out into, hopefully, the Aggron. That would be ideal, because his Earthquake will be ×4 effective. But that's probably the reason why he won't switch out into it. Because Earthquake would literally bop it, 1-hit KO. I'm hoping that he is going to withdraw. Please show. He's probably going to go to the Chestnut. Seems to be his best bet. Goes out into the Mew. Now, this is fine because I think I can 2-hit KO this Mew. I almost went for the knockoff, to be honest with you, but that Aggron was a little bit too tempting for me not to go for it. I'm really going to hope he doesn't... I think he's going to go right out into the Dragonite. I have to go for the Earthquake, though, to kill this Mew. I can't lose. I can't just give away this opportunity to kill the Mew. Especially... I wonder if he'll think I'm Scarfed. No, he doesn't. All right, cool. So Mamoswine kills Mew. Let me write that down somewhere on a notepad because I have to keep track of stuff. Mamoswine kills Mew. It's a nice free kill. Now, Mamoswine would outspeed if he's not speed invested. So, considering that the Manectric already outsped, I think that he doesn't know yet that I'm Choice Scarf. Hopefully his Keldeo is not Choice Scarf, because I think Keldeo outspeeds, doesn't he? Yeah, he outspeeds by a lot. Whew! Alright, so hopefully he's not Choice Scarf, because then I can actually outspeed. Goes out into the Chestnut. Now this is not... I mean, this is not a big deal. He's probably going to Leech Seed. I'm going to go ahead and go out into my... well, you know what? If I think he's going to Leech Seed, I could go out into Manectric. Get the Intimidate off, and then just Volt Switch out after only one turn of Leech Seed. But I'm going to go out into Real Bulk because honestly, Leech Seed on my Real Bulk really doesn't matter too much, especially now that the Mew is gone. Super Fang is going to hit a lot of other things at this point. Bring him down to half. So he does in fact go for the Leech Seed like I predicted. I could not exactly act on that just yet. Kind of want to go for a Toxic here and just start toxicking everything, which is part of my team build, but with Vaporeon gone, we're kind of in a little bit of a dilemma. I am just going to go for the Super Fang. I might have said Hyper Fang just a couple seconds ago. I apologize if I did. But we're going to go for the Super Fang here, and we're going to see what happens. He can switch out. If he stays in, that's fine. I'm okay with a little bit of Leech Seed loss on Real Bulk. I think he would probably switch out into the... He doesn't really have a good counter to this Golbat. He really doesn't. Sometimes I like to... I should consider bringing the Nasty Plot Eviolite Golbat, because that's a lot of fun to use. But maybe I'll do that in a future week. I'm not sure. He does go into the Aggron, which is nice, because getting this bulky thing down... getting it down to 50%, and then, I mean, he's going to get a little Leech Seed recovery, but getting it down that low is absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. I do think there's a chance he'll just set up rocks, but wow. Okay, he has like no HP, but he's just so defensive. I do think there's a good chance he'll set up rocks. I know there's pretty much no chance of him going for an Earthquake, so I'm going to go ahead and switch out into Manectric and go for an Intimidate. I don't think there's any chance of him going for an Earthquake against my Golbat. He's going to Mega Evolve and most likely set up the rocks, which I guess is really good for him, because he's going to be able to have to force my Golbat back in, but it's going to take even more damage, which means I'm only going to be able to defog on that Goodra. If he goes for rocks here, he might go for, what do you call it, a Rock Polish for all I know, which would be devastating. He goes for the Heavy Slam right away. That is going to hurt a decent amount. Thankfully, we did get the Intimidate off, and it's not very effective because we resist Steel. So that's amazing. Now, I know that that Flamethrower is not going to do much, so I'm actually going to go for the Volt Switch here. Aggron with Filter is really a problem. He's actually going to withdraw, though. Okay, alright, I feel that. I'm happy about that. I am not complaining at all. Ooh, it does a decent amount, actually. Mega Manectric, jeez. Okay, so we're going to Volt Switch on the Goodra, gain some initiative here. And I think that we have to go into Mamoswine and go for the Icicle Crash at this point. Or, yeah, we have to go into Mamoswine and go for the Icicle Crash. He might switch out into the Aggron. See, Earthquake seems so much better to me. Even Knockoff looks nice. Knockoff looks nice against Goodra as well. I don't think he'll actually switch out into... He might... I just have to get rid of that Dragonite, then I can go for free knockoff, free Earthquakes. So I'm going to go for the Icicle Crash. Hopefully he overpredicts and he stays in. He's going to withdraw probably right back into the Aggron. Goes right back out into the Aggron. That's really unfortunate because this is not going to do much at all. This is not going to do much at all. Luckily, he did not set up the rocks, which is great. But this is not going to do too much. It's a crit, but it's not going to do too much. Wow, had I gone for EQ, that thing would have been dead. I think I pretty much have to go out into Real Bulk, predicting an Earthquake now, because I brought the Manectric in last time. So let's go out into Real Bulk. I really don't want anything else taking damage. As soon as I get rid of that Dragonite, Earthquakes for days on his team. I mean, it's not going to one-hit KO everything, but it's going to do a lot of damage, and I think I can take one hit, so I'll at least take another Pokemon out. So he does, in fact, go for the Heavy Slam again. I could have gone out to Mega Manectric, but we're in here with Golbat, and we are going to live it. I think I can get a Roost off here. Kind of hoping he doesn't go for the Earthquake if he has it. If he has it, he's going to go for it right here. But if he doesn't, then that'll be a good time because we'll be fine. So we're going to get really high back up, and he goes for the Heavy Slam again, thankfully. Thankfully, just going for Heavy Slams, and we do actually have an option here. I can actually go out into Manectric this time because he might... Oh, wait a minute. He'll predict the Roost and go for an Earthquake. Oh, no! Oh, no. Please, please don't go for Earthquake. Please don't go for Earthquake. I'm begging you. This Manectric was the one thing that could easily take this thing out. He went for Curse, actually. Oh, well, that's good for me because I can actually freely... I can go for the Flamethrower here. Well, actually, I think a Volt Switch might actually take him out. Well, there's no reason not to go for the Flamethrower because when the Goodra comes back in, I can actually just switch right back out. So let's go for the Flamethrower, hoping that he'll stay in. Really hoping that he'll stay in. Please stay in. Please stay in, predicting. I'm begging you. I probably should have Volt Switched. There's no way he's staying in. There's no way he's letting Mega Manectric get a kill right now. There's no way. I mean, ideally, though, because you know what? If I was him, I'd probably switch out, too, because I go for the Volt Switch. Even if I go for the Volt Switch right here, then I see that he's staying in. I'm like, oh, I gotta go into Golbat. But he could probably kill the Golbat if I go for Volt Switch. So I guess it's a coin toss. Coin toss. He does withdraw Aggron, though, and probably goes right down to the Goodra. Right down to the Goodra. Let's burn this thing, though. Can we do that? Can we get some residual damage on this thing in the form of a burn? Yes! Woo! Alright, I'm sorry for the hacks. I know this is the GBA, but you know what? Not that sorry. We're going to have to keep this Manectric around. I think Real Bulk is becoming the least necessary thing. We're going to go for a Volt Switch here, get a tiny bit of damage off, and then he's going to take more burn damage, so that's kind of more important. He'll be below a half. He can go ahead and predict... He can predict the Golbat and go for whatever he wants to go for. It probably will take me out if he goes for a Thunderbolt, but we kind of have to do it anyway. Ooh, he goes for the Dragon Tail, but he misses! Wow. The hacks are really with us this week. The hacks are really, really with us. I'm going to be... Oh, no, I clicked Super Fang! I meant to go for Roost, and I clicked Super Fang. Okay, okay. He actually withdraws Goodra and goes out into Aggron, so we'll get a little bit more damage off on this thing. Nothing crazy. Nothing crazy at all. But the Aggron is getting dwindled down. We could go for the Roost here. No, just in case he goes for a Curse, I'm going to go ahead and switch right out into Manectric because I know I can take a Heavy Slam. We've seen Heavy Slam, Curse. He might actually pack the rest, which would make sense. So we're going to go ahead and go on to Manectric. He might rest this turn. If we see rest, I'll be a little upset. There's the rest. So we have a resting, cursing Mega Aggron. I'm guessing Aggron learned Sleep Talk as well because we haven't seen that other move, and I'm guessing that it's Sleep Talk. Yes, he can learn it. So we're going to have to go ahead and go for the Flamethrower again. We are slowly dwindling down his team, thankfully. And like I said, as soon as that Dragonite is gone, we haven't seen the Dragonite or the Keldeo once. He is actually going to hard switch right back out into his Goodra. But that's fine because I think between the little bit of damage Flamethrower is going to do, and I mean little bit of damage Flamethrower is going to do, and then I can go ahead and possibly take him out with an HP Ice. Oh, maybe not. I don't think that's low enough. That's not low enough. Alright, I actually have to go for a Volt Switch here because I don't want my Manectric taking any damage. I really don't want Manectric taking any damage. So let's go for the Volt Switch. And we really have to keep this Manectric around. I mean, granted, my Noivern can actually take out the Aggron as well because it has Flamethrower. But, not really a fan. So we're going to Volt Switch out and go back out into Golbat because it is our most likely be able to take a hit from a defensive Goodra. Hopefully this Goodra doesn't have rest either. He's Focus Blast, which we resist 4 times. We resisted 4 times. Plus, if that Aggron comes out, we can actually set up a Dragon Dance, which would be great. Now, thankfully, we're going to have our Golbat in here. We can actually feel free to go for a Roost. No reason not to. If he wants to go into Aggron on the next turn, I'm going to cut his HP in half. But we're going to go ahead and Roost up right now. He might go for a Thunderbolt, which is fine. We're actually going to lose our Flying type, so that he really can't hit me with anything too hard. He does go for the Dragon Tail, though, which is fine by me, because he's going to force me out of a Pokemon that I don't even want to be in, because I know that the Goodra is going down to a burn. We're going to come in with Mavis, which is probably the best Force Switch for me. Looking at his team. Now, if his Keldeo comes in here, I'm going to go ahead and assume his Keldeo is Choice Scarf. Definitely going to assume the Keldeo is Choice Scarf. Burn got the kill, which means Mega Manectric killed Goodra. Mega Manectric killed Goodra. Flamethrower burn damage. Boom. So Keldeo comes out. I really think you're Choice Scarf now. I really think you're Choice Scarf, with no doubt in my mind. Wow. Alright. I think an Icy Wind will kill my Noivern. Oh, I really think Icy Wind is going to be a one-hit KO. We can't take that risk. I'm in a really bad spot now. I'm going to go ahead and sacrifice Real Bulk like I've been trying to do this whole time, because I think the Icy Wind is coming. And Choice Scarf Keldeo is really going to be a problem. There's the Icy Wind. I'm sure that it's going to do a good chunk of damage. Ooh, not that much. Okay. So we can scout right now if these Choice Scarves. I'm actually just going to go for a Super Fang in case he wants to come back out into the Aggron. He is going to withdraw it. Definitely Choice Scarves. Now I want to keep Golbat around now that I know that it can handle that thing. We're going to get a Super Fang off on the Aggron, which is great, because I'm slowly dwindling down this really bulky team, really bulky with the Goodra and the Aggron. But now I can feel comfortable. He has 2 turns of rest. He hasn't used 1 yet. So I can feel comfortable going out into the Manectric here and then proceeding to go for a Flamethrower. Because, I mean, he does have things to take a Flamethrower, as in he has the Dragonite. But that's going to break his scale, and then the HPS is going to one-hit KO him. So he goes for the Sleep Talk. Totally forgot about that. And he goes for a rest. That's the problem with Sleep Talk right there. So I feel comfortable going for the Flamethrower, even if he goes into the Keldeo. Kind of want to predict the Keldeo and go for Thunderbolt. I'm going to predict the Keldeo and go for a Thunderbolt here. He is behind the 8 ball. He does stay in, though, because he's behind the 8 ball, making a great play. But Thunderbolt's enough to take Aggron out. Who the heck knew? Who the heck knew? I did not know. My goodness. Wow. Holy. Because that I did not expect. I have to run damage calcs right now. I'm so curious. Mega Aggron. Thunderbolt does 62% max. Who the heck knew? It does a minimum of 52%. Wow. So I actually made the safest play in the book. That's kind of awesome to actually do that for once. Now, we should be fine from here on out. I mean, I don't want you guys to get too comfortable in your seats. Don't you dare get too comfortable, because anything can happen in a Pokemon game. Anything can happen. He does come out to the Dragonite now. I know this thing is going to have weakness policy. All I want to do is break... Ooh, it could be Choice Banded. Choice Banded E-Speed is going to hurt a lot. I'm actually going to go ahead and go out into the Golbat on the off chance that he's Choice Banded. Not likely, but I don't want to just go for a Volt Switch and then him Choice Band E-Speed me and take out mine. He does set up a Dragon Dance, though. That's a problem. That is definitely a problem. I don't think Golbat can take a +1. Oh, I really should have just gone for what I wanted to go for. I'm going to go for the Super Fang. It's my best bet. I don't want to go for anything else. Can I live a +1 Outrage from a Dragonite? I would be shocked. Nope. Alright, so we know that he's locked into Outrage, and we know that we're going to have to sacrifice someone. I think Mega Manectric still outspeeds a Dragonite. 259, no. He outspeeds me by just barely anything. Are you kidding me? 259 times 1.5 is 384. No, I outspeed. Okay. Alright, so I can go on into the Manectric, get the Intimidate off. Now, looking at his team, my Manectric doesn't outspeed that Keldeo anyway. That Keldeo is such a problem. With Golbat gone, that Keldeo is such a problem. I don't think that Mamoswine one-shots it with the scale. Because it has the scale, I don't think I can one-shot it. It's a speed tie, too, if I go into Mamoswine. Icicle Crash has a chance to one-hit. That's not worth it. I could go into Claudia, but Claudia actually has a Lumberry this time around instead of a Focus Sash. The one time. Let's go ahead and go on into Manectric. And we are going to... I think I'm going to Volt Switch. I just have to see what Keldeos really like to do. Secret Sword, Manectric, Mega. He can one-shot my Manectric any day of the week. It's almost worth me just going for the Hidden Thunderbolt just to possibly get a Paralyze. Huh. Because HP Ice is not going to kill. Not going to kill at all. And I was so close to bringing Choice Scarf and Wyvern. For the Keldeo. Oh, I should have brought it. We are going to... I want to save this Manectric, don't I? Because I don't want that Keldeo being able to lock into Icy Wind. So I'm going to go for the Volt Switch to break the scale. We're going to go for Volt Switch to break the scale. It's not going to do too much. It's not going to be super effective, so it's not going to activate any possible weakness policy. Now, the other question is, can anyone actually take... I feel like Claudia is the most useless Pokemon against my opponent's team. He's got Keldeo left, which resists both stabs. He's got Chestnut left that resists both stabs, and he has Dragonite left, which of course cannot take a knockoff. But yep, we're gonna go ahead. We're going to go ahead and go out into Claudia. We're not in a good spot here. He is going to go for his Outrage and take me out. I'm sorry, Claudia. You were just used as Death Fodder. Simply just for Switch Initiative. Oh my gosh! So Mamoswine, you could have easily taken that. Oh no, you can't take a +1 Outrage. How did Claudia take that? What kind of Dragonite is this? Hold on. So it's not max attack? Even still, it should kill. I am so confused right now. I'm gonna go for an Aqua Jet for free damage. But that's it. I know you guys are going to be able to explain to me in the comment section, but I don't know how Claudia just lived. No idea. Outrage, +1. Oh, it was at neutral. It was at neutral. He eats the Lumberry. But still, it still looks like it should kill. Now that he has done what he's done, I can go out into Manectric here. Yeah, Manectric's my best bet. Let's go on into Manectric because we know we outspeed. Although he could go for an E-Speed, but we're going to bring him down to -1. So that's good and dandy. And now he could go into the Keldeo. I wonder how much Thunderbolt does to a Dragonite. Because I underestimated Thunderbolt before. No, it doesn't do too much. Oh, wait, he's not healthy. He's not healthy. He's at 300, let's say. Okay, Thunderbolt does 55, so it's not enough to kill. We have to go for either a Volt Switch or an HP Ice. Huh. I'll regret going for anything but HP Ice. I'll regret going for anything but HP Ice, even if he goes on to the Keldeo. In the long run, my Mamoswine can handle the Dragonite. So I could have gone on to Mamoswine there, but then it's way too much of a game. Oh, I should have gone on to Mamoswine. I could have went for a knockoff. A knockoff probably kills. Oh no. Oh, never mind. Not HP Ice is gonna take out the Dragonite just barely. I got scared. Okay, so Mega Manectric is getting kills this week. Have you guys placed your bets on Mega Manectric? So Keldeo is gonna come out. That's unfortunate, but I think my Manectric has to go down here. I mean, Noivern is kind of needed for Chestnut. The thing is, if I switch out and he goes for the Icy Wind, I probably lose. But is he really going to lock himself into Icy Wind when I still have a Mamoswine? Probably not. Probably not. Now, if he does lock himself into Icy Wind, actually, he's probably going to go for Scald. Well, if he locks himself into Icy Wind and he takes out my Noivern, Noivern will die. I go into Mamoswine. I can take an Icy Wind very easily and go for an EQ. EQ will do a lot, but it won't do enough. So I kind of have to stay in. Yeah, I have to stay in. Really nice if he does go for the Icy Wind. Goes for the Hydro Pump and lands it, ladies and gents. Lands the Hydro Pump. That is a dead Mega Manectric. It's a crit! Really close to going to Noivern there. Really close. Now I feel comfortable going into Noivern. And this is why I had to make that play. I feel very comfortable going into Noivern, going for the Air Slash, Choice Specs, which will kill either one of his Pokemon. He's going to probably switch. See, even if he switches out and he locks himself into Icy Wind when he comes back in, I have Mamoswine, which can take Icy Winds for days, I think. So, I mean, I have the Thick Fat. Icy Wind shouldn't do too much, and I should be able to 2-hit KO with an Earthquake. That's my plan. That's my plan, because I resist everything else the Keldeo can do. Hydro Pump, fighting, everything else. So Noivern was a great pick to bring this week. This was a really great battle. It's not over yet, but this was a really great battle. I mean, he could hit me with a Hydro Pump and crit me for all I know. For all I know, that kills. For all I know, that kills! Fun fact, it doesn't. So he knows I'm going for the Air Slash here. He just has to decide, do I try to go for a Hydro Pump? He has to switch out. He literally has to switch out. It's his only chance of winning. He would have to go, he had to switch out, come back in, Icy Wind, and then hopefully crit me twice with Mamoswine. I don't think that'll kill. So I think this is pretty much... I'm still confused about that Crawdon actually living. I'm still confused. So he misses his Hydro Pump that he locked himself into. Not the biggest deal in the world, in my opinion. It is hacked, so I do apologize for that. But I don't think it's going to matter at all, because even if he would have landed that, it would have only done at most 60%. With a crit, it would have done 90. Yeah, that's 1.5. So we're going to be able to have our Noivern in here. Noivern killing Keldeo and Noivern killing Chestnut. So that is going to be Noivern and Mega Manectric. Noivern kills Chestnut because it's ×4 effective. You're dead. Noivern and who was our last Pokemon? Mamoswine. Mamoswine didn't even touch the field. Mamoswine left. 2-0. 2-0 victory. Okay, so that's going to be, we're back to 4-4. That's really good for us getting that win in our division, in our division. So we still have a very good chance of making it to the playoffs. I think this week showed a lot of potential, what the team can do when I actually think straight. I hope some of you guys that are more critical on the New York Yankees are a little bit impressed by how I broke down that team. Really took my time. I had a couple misplays, I guess, but overall risk versus reward. I think I was doing the best to show you guys some love, to to bring the New York Yankees to a point where they need to be, because I know we have a lot of fans out there. So thank you so much for watching. Please remember to hit that like button for the New York Yankees. Hashtag New York Yankees Cup, because that's what it's going to be. It's going to have a little Yankee on it. That's the cup we're going to get. Have yourselves a good day. But above all else, keep it